Okay, I started it a little bit ago and nobody could hear me, so I figured I'd restart it. So, for those of you who came back, thank you so much. I know Facebook Lives are so frustrating when it's information you really, really want and you can't hear anything, so I figured it would be easier to just start it over. So, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Laurel Huston, and I am the creator of body mapping. So, the next question is, what the crap is body mapping? Body mapping is a modality that is a mixture of anatomy and physiology, 20 years of me studying people's faces, their body proportions, their symmetry, and really connecting with my higher power and finding what all the different parts and pieces of our body means. Because I am one of 7 children, and some of us look alike and some of us don't. And I don't know about you, but have you ever looked at your siblings and thought, where did you come from? You don't look like any of us. You don't act like any of us. And I know in my family that is true. Some of us have really similar features and body characteristics, and some of us look like we were adopted. And I know that really made me start thinking. And as I got into the personal development world, a short background with this, I really started to get into body mapping and develop it and discover it when I had an 18-month-old. That's when I really started in-depth studying body language. I have a degree in speech communication, and I have a second degree in psychology and human development, and I just wanted to know more. I wanted to be able to help my child the best that I could. I have 3 kids now, and this has been something that has really helped me because just by looking, I can know and understand something about people, about who they are, about why they do certain things. And the beautiful part for me was that it really got me out of comparison. I can measure my body, and my body measures other parts of my body. But my body will never measure your body correctly. And because of that, I had to stop comparing. So each Monday, in Mapping Monday, I'm going to tell you about the different meanings, different measurements of different parts of your body. Because my number one goal with this is to help you learn to love who you are. Because there's a reason you look the way you look, and it is amazing. So I asked a couple people beforehand what it was that they wanted to learn, and that is why I have this crazy hairdo today. Because I have a lot of one-on-one personal mentor clients that get headaches, and they wanted to know what can they do with headaches. So what do symptoms have to do with body mapping? Well, when your body is in proportion or out of proportion, it tells me different skills or natural abilities you have. And when those skills or natural abilities are denied or numbed or suppressed, sometimes it causes symptoms in our body. Well, symptoms are not good or bad. They are just messages. They're just things to tell us that our body is trying to tell us, that our spirit is trying to tell us, that our mind doesn't want us to listen to. So the first thing with foreheads, which is why mine is showing, is that you have to measure it. So the way you measure your forehead is with 4 fingers. Your 4 fingers, because my 4 fingers won't measure your forehead accurately, but it will measure mine. Your forehead is called a forehead because 4 fingers should measure it. So if you put your pinky across your brow bone, your top 4th finger should hit your hairline. So some of you are now feeling and you're like, wait, I can fit another finger. You have a 5 head. Some of you, when you put your pinky across your brow bone and then laid your fingers, you could feel hair on this top finger. So maybe your forehead is only 3 fingers. That doesn't make it good or bad or right or wrong. That just tells me something cool about you. So with foreheads, when the forehead is proportionate, then you focus on other learning styles, which we will talk about in later classes. But when you have a 3 head, meaning it only takes 3 fingers to measure from your brow bone to your hairline, you are someone that it takes a lot of time for things to sink in. You have to hear it over and over and over and over, but once it's there, it never leaves you. So a really positive trait of this is that yes, you have to hear something 3 or 4 or 5 times, but that information never leaves. You know it for life. People know that you're full of useless information, full of fun facts, and they love that about you. However, if you heard something negative over and over and over, once it finally went in there, it's really hard to get it out. And then you have to use all sorts of lift up and let go tools. So then the other extreme is the 5 head. Tyra Banks always laughs that she has a 5 head, and she really does. When you measure her fingers against her forehead, it takes 5, almost 6 fingers for her forehead to be measured accurately to her hand. These are people that information goes in really, really easily, but it also leaves really quickly as well. So for those of you that are on here live, measure your forehead. Type a 3, a 4, or a 5. What do you have when you measure? Because people that have a 5 head, these are my crammers. So when they have to take a test, they study the night before, they get as much information as possible, they take the test, they're walking out of the test and someone says, hey, what did you get on number 4? And you're like, I don't know. I got nothing. Because you don't remember. It went in really easily, but it also comes out really easily. So these are people that as things are happening, they process information really, really quickly, but their memory isn't always the best. So what does this have to do with headaches? Well, for those of you that are really deep into the energy world, you may know something about a chakra, or chakra, however you want to say it, that's right here. And this may be something that some of you are going to want to have a discussion with me on, but hear me out first. This third eye is often called, explained as intuition, as your way to connect to the universe and answers and that kind of stuff. But I have learned through a lot of study that your third eye is not about intuition. It's not about receiving information. It's about discerning information. It's about hearing it and understanding what to do with it. Intuition speaks to our heart, because our heart is where desire comes from, and desire literally translates to the Father. When we follow our heart, we are following the will of our Creator. When we follow our head, we're screwing ourselves over and over and over. But we can use our head to decipher what our heart is telling us. So this is not intuition. Intuition speaks to your heart. But so many women are so disconnected from their body that they don't listen to their heart anymore. And they're trying to solve problems in their head. And it's giving you a headache in very specific places. So, here's headaches. How many of you have headaches? Just curious. How many of you on here get headaches? Couple. Okay. So this is the other part with body mapping. I know that a bacteria causes strep throat. I'm not dumb. But the symptoms you get because of that bacteria have far more to do with your emotions than they do with the bacteria itself. Because I can get a cold and I can make out with my husband and I'll have a stuffy nose because my give and receive cycle is off, and he can lose his voice because he feels unheard. We had the same cold virus, but we got completely different symptoms. Headaches are one of those. So headaches can come right here in the back, right here. You can get them on your temples, you can get them across your forehead, or you can get the ones that are up here at the very top. So, headaches on the temples. First off, the first question to ask yourself is, why do I feel blindsided? When things come at us from the sides, we didn't see them coming. And then we clench our jaw, and physiologically it tenses up all these muscles, and physiologically you start to have pain here. But you can take, you can get a massage, you can do all the things physically that help, and you still have that shooting pain here. Ask yourself, why do I feel blindsided? Have a conversation about what caught you out of nowhere. That will help relieve that headache. Headaches that come across the forehead, those have to do with decision making. Because across the forehead right here, that's discernment. That's how do I understand what I'm supposed to do? So when we get stuck in, I call them how cycles, we stop asking who we can help, we stop asking what we want, and we just go into how do I do this? Foreheads right across. When you are having problems and you're stuck in a house cycle, you're going to have a headache across your forehead here. Because in body mapping, the larger the forehead, the more information you can process. The smaller the forehead, the more times it has to go in. So who's more prone to overthink? The larger the forehead, the larger amount of information you think you need before you can make a decision. The smaller the forehead, you have to be asked the same question 4 or 5 times before you'll pay it attention. And then you'll make a decision. If you have a forehead, you're going to go more towards an emotional response. Does it feel right now? Okay. Who is still with me on this? Give me a I'm still with you in the comments if this is making sense. So when you have blindsided headaches and you ask, why do I feel blindsided? You are going to try and do something that helps you build trust. Trust with yourself, trust with your higher power, trust with the person that blindsided you, trust with the community you live in. What is it that blindsided you? So your first question is, why do I feel blindsided? Secondly, do I have control over it? If when you ask, do I have control over it, the answer is no, then in your mind, I want you kind of like think of Harry Potter with the pensive. I want you to just take and pull that out of your temples and just say, if I don't have control of it, I don't need to know about it. Very normal sized. Okay, we've got some 5 heads, some 4 heads. Ooh, good. Loving these tips. I'm glad they're helping. Okay, so you've got blindsided, you've got overthinking. That's what's happening when you're getting things here. And on a side note, if you have a lot of forehead headaches, you probably have a lot of stomach issues as well. What I mean by stomach issues, you probably have irritable bowel syndrome, or you'll get ulcers. People who get a lot of forehead headaches tend to have a lot of digestive problems as well, which I'll tell you why on another session. Okay, headaches in the back right here. When you get headaches back here, when we get headaches in the back of our head back here, those headaches are often a sign from the spiritual realm. And they are your highest self trying to connect with you, or there is someone who is not good that's trying to mess with you spiritually. A lot of people have a spiritual alarm back here that tells them someone is spiritually attacking me. When you get headaches back here, you need to use prayers, oils, herbs, crystals, whatever it is you do to protect yourself spiritually to help that back there. And so when you are, especially people who are creators, they're actively using their skills and their talents to create things to help other people, they will get a combination headache of the temples, the forehead, the back of the neck, and they'll think, oh, I just need a head massage. I need everything to release. No, you need to turn it over to your creator. You need to get into flow. You need to rest and relax because you're trying to push something that's not yours to push. Oh, the comments are really behind. Okay. Oh, those are the ones I get most when I get a headache. The ones on the back of the neck. Yeah. Do whatever you need to do to protect yourself. Okay. So I have a lot of friends that are in the presenter world. And the most common headache for presenters, for mentors, is the one that happens right back here on the back of your neck. So if I was to go into the total woo-woo world, you have it's not necessarily a chakra, but it is an energy field that holds your connection to the unseen world. Gate it, protect it, do what you need to do to keep that clear. Yes, and when you are, Karen just said, I recently noticed a big connection with the back of my head and stopping the flow. Yes. When you are out of flow and you're pushing through things and you're hustling, you have cut off your ability to understand what the unseen and the heavens are trying to tell you. So open yourself back up to that by surrendering. Not pushing, surrendering. Take time to meditate, to breathe. Oh, it's 2:22. I just noticed that. Numbers are my sign. Okay. Headaches on the very top right here. Because we went into the woo-woo world, I'm going to stay there for just a moment. Headaches that are coming on the top of the head right here. Your crown or bliss chakra in Sanskrit. Yes, Taylor, that's exactly why they've started showing up. Whenever you start to really open up to the spiritual realm, if you don't have, some people shield, I like to shine. Because shields can be hit against and eventually broken down, but light will always overcome darkness. So I don't teach my clients to shield, I teach them to shine. So if you just imagine a bright light coming from the back of your head, any darkness that's trying to stop you or get to you will disappear. So don't shield, shine. Shine from your head, shine from your heart. Shielding is exhausting. Shining is easy because you're not using your light, you're using the light of the divinity within you. Crystals that would help. Great question, Taylor. Yes. Anything that is black. Black tourmaline is probably my favorite. And then I would actually go with labradorite and fluorite. So a lot of people will have fluorite pendants that they wear. Fluorite is so beautiful against negative entities and attacks from the unseen realm. Black tourmaline will take up anything that's negative. It'll just soak it up for you. And selenite, for me, if you don't know what to use selenite because selenite pretty much helps everything. So the last one, the forehead or the headache that's on the top. The headaches that happen on the top of your head have to do with whether or not you feel connected to your higher power or connected to your higher purpose. Yes. So our highest self is what helps us reveal our higher purpose. And when we have been told from our Creator, this is what I need from you. This is what I need you to do. And we go, ooh, that's too big and scary. We will get headaches right here. So headaches up here. Genesis stones are also really good for it. Headaches up here have to do with us disconnecting from the universe. We have said, you told me what you needed from me, and I got scared. So you shut the door. And the heavens said, I can't help you in here or in here when you shut me out. So they're knocking. Please let me in. When you get headaches up here, do whatever you do to connect to the universe, to your Creator, and to your higher power. And then ask yourself, who do you need me to be? Who am I becoming? When I started teaching people body mapping, I realized that that was something so many women struggle with. They have so many labels in their head about whether they're good or bad or right or wrong that they've stopped looking to just see themselves. So take a moment and measure. And instead of saying, well, I don't have a 4 head, or I have a perfect 4 head, or I have a 3 head, or I have a 5 head, say, wow, the way that I look and perceive information is different than someone else. But it's perfect for me. Because the universe created you the way it created you for a reason. Cool fun fact, I love fun facts. Only 15% of your genetic code is physically manifested. The other 85% of your genetic code is just housed in your body and stored. It's passed to next generations, and things have been passed to you, but not all of it is expressed. So it is not by chance or circumstance that you look the way you look. You look the way you look because they are messages from our Creator and the universe to help you know and understand that you matter, that you have purpose, and that it is divine. So I want to keep these to a half an hour or less. So I am going to go ahead and log off. I hope that this helped you understand some of your headaches. I hoped that this helped you realize that your head measures to your fingers, but not mine. And I love you. I truly do. Thank you for getting on this live, and I will see you next Monday at 2 o'clock. Thank you.